I'm just blown away that everything I put these fish through as far as rescaping this tank and getting them all stressed out and everything, and today there's new fry. This is crazy. What's going on, fish nerds? I've been telling you guys for weeks that I am going to scape this 30-gallon tall right here. And last week I actually showed you the Hemichromis Moanda that I brought home to go into this tank. And so it is time to finally get the scaping done with these cichlids in mind. But first, I've got to change my outfit. Okay guys, so, oh, wait a minute. All right, so now that I'm in the right outfit, let's get into what I want to do with this tank. So basically what I want to do in here is use some bigger rocks to, one, hide the sponge filter, similar to what I did down here. Maybe not so much piling rocks on top like I did down there, but disguise it. Leave this front corner open and get some caves built into the structure that I build out of the rocks, with it being a lot higher up here and then sweeping down and curving in to leave the back corner open and kind of coming down to this front corner and getting really low, and maybe just some sporadic rocks down here in the front, just kind of trailing up and then building up as we go up into this back corner. Use some Val back here in this corner to fill out this space, and get some Dwarf Sag and things going up here to kind of carpet out the front.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I got all the rock work out of here just so I can start fresh instead of having to build around what was already there. And I'm going to use the opportunity while those rocks aren't in here to get some of these bristlenose plecos out of here. I just didn't want to have all 6 of them up here in this tank permanently. Just get them redistributed around a little bit.
Day 2.
Okay, so here's what's going on so far, guys. I apologize that I haven't shown updates up to this point. I just kind of got really into it, having a lot of fun doing the scape, and just got carried away, and pretty much was almost done with the rock work. And you'll notice this is not hidden and it's up here. The reason for that is I got all this built out before I realized the cichlids had been hanging out over here. And then I noticed one of them wasn't visible, and I got to looking around, and I came around over to this side, and I realized that at some point while I was building out all this rock work, that it had swam back up behind the sponge filter without my noticing, to hide back behind the sponge filter while I was building up the rocks around the sponge filter. And it was like pinned up between the sponge filter and the glass, just like sandwiched up into the glass, just stuck there. So I had to pull all the rock work that I had done up on this side, and it was looking awesome, but I had to tear all that down, and so it's all down here in the floor again. But I had to pull all that out so I could get that sponge out of there and set it free. And at that point it was late enough and I didn't want to disturb these guys anymore. It is actually now the next day, and I do have some sage down here that I have not planted yet, and there's some Corkscrew Val floating up here that's actually going to be what goes back in here. So I just let these guys have a break overnight just to chill out and relax, and I just didn't want to stress them out anymore. So at this point I'm going to try to keep them back over here, and if I wish I would have just went ahead and pulled them out of the tank for a minute, you know, just got them in a bucket for a minute while I did the scape, but you know, live and learn. So try to keep them over there at this point, get the sponge back down in there and get some rocks back around the sponge, then I can finish out the scape. I do have the one cave that I've built in here. Didn't quite turn out for exactly the way I was intending, but it'll do. And these here are just a couple of big rocks that had been up in the mound, and they're just laying down here for now. And I'm gonna try to build out another cave here that actually kind of goes in the little passageway in the woodwork there. You can see I'm kind of building some walls around that. and then I'll just lay some rubble around that to kind of make it look a little more natural, build it up into what goes on up here. And then I've got it just kind of trails off and comes down this way to the corner, and I'll have the sage up around in here and the corkscrew valve back here in the back. So that's what I'm working towards.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so this is what we got so far. A little cloudy in there where I've been moving stuff around and adding the rocks, but got this built back up. It's not exactly like it was the first time. I'm not sure if I'm as happy with it this time as I was the first time, but I mean, I'm not unhappy with it, so at least I'm happy enough with it that I don't want to tear it back down and do it again. But then it kind of comes down a little bit, not as much as I had originally intended, but then back up again to kind of a little peak right there. Reason it's not as deep as I intended was because I needed it to build it up a little bit right here in order to support this cave here, which is nice and deep. And the fish are actually down here in this small little cave that's not that deep, but deep enough you can't see them back there. If I shined a flashlight back there, you could see them. And then we got the medium-sized little cave right here.
Day 3.
Okay guys, so this is mind-blowing. I've had these fish for a week. They were all stressed out from being brought into this tank, extremely stressed out while I moved everything around in this tank, rescaping it, the whole 9 yards. I want you to look at this. We have free swimming fry. I don't know. I don't know how this happened, but there are free swimming fry in here. In the midst, I scaped this last night, and this morning there are free swimming fry that were not there yesterday. So I don't know if they laid eggs. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm reacting even as I'm filming this because I just now saw these. But I don't. Do you see that little fry right there? I'm just blown away that everything I put these fish through, as far as rescaping this tank and getting them all stressed out and everything, and today there's new fry. This is crazy. Holy cow. I don't know how that worked out, but they have already had a batch of fry in this tank, and I've only had them a week. That's nuts. You see them down there in the bottom of that little cave, swimming around by the gravel. Nice little group of them in there. But that is so awesome. So awesome. Okay guys, so I realize this is supposed to be an aquascaping video, but I'm too blown away by these fry being in here. The day after, I mean last night, I was overhauling this tank. The night before I was overhauling it and completely stressing these parents out. And today there are newborn free swimming fry. So the only thing I can figure is these guys had laid the eggs before I started overhauling the scape in here. And then when I started rescaping, they must have gathered up the eggs without me realizing it, held on to them, hit them, did something until I was done, until they found a nice place to hide them. And now we have fry today. That's the only thing I can figure. What good fish parents these guys are. That's insane, guys. Hey, anyway, so back to the scape itself. I showed last night that I, built this up over here and kind of got it sloping down. It comes back up over here a little bit for the sake of this cave, and then kind of trailing off here. I did put the corkscrew valve back here in this corner. I'm hoping it'll take off and just fill this corner up, and it'll be nice and thick, full with this Corkscrew Val. And then I've got the Dwarf Sag all along here in the front, hoping that'll fill in nice. And then I just took the Anubias that I had, the Frazeri or Frazeri, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to say Frazeri. That's what makes sense to me. I just kind of wedged it in between the rocks back there. Same with this up here. And the Nana Petite, I might need to replace it down in there a little bit, or I had the roots pinned down in between these rocks, but it looks like it's kind of come loose and trying to come out of there. But I didn't use any glue or anything, just kind of wedge things in place as far as the Anubias goes. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's a nice natural look, got the natural caves in there, got the planting around it. I think the plants set it off nice. I really like this rock right here. I like the character that it gives that empty corner back there. So yeah, overall very happy with the scape and how it turned out. Alright guys, let me know what you think of this scape, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up to these awesome fish parents and their babies. And if you like videos like this one, make sure you subscribe, because I put out new videos like this every single Friday, and I've been dabbling with live streams on Tuesday evenings, so make sure you join the notification squad. And as always, you guys are awesome. God bless you, fish nerds. I'll see you next time.